Folks, this is the Junkyard Messiah. I get my name mostly because I go to the junkyard, pull things out, and fix them, bring them back to life. Take, for instance, this 50-inch TV right here that was being thrown away because it got hit by lightning. 2013 model Emerson. All I needed was full-wave rectifier, some MOVs, and a couple low-power regulators, and it was good to go. So I've done this a lot. I've actually taken TVs that are normally thrown in the trash that would normally end up in the landfill and upside down, and bring them home and fix them, give them to friends, whatever. Now, in most cases, when you're dealing with these big TVs, the problems are easily recognizable, in so much as things like the X and Y sustain boards and logic boards and that sort of thing. But I've got an unusual problem with this particular one that I recently got for free out of the junk, which is a Samsung HP-S4273. So this is a 42-inch plasma TV. Now, I fixed plasmas before, but mostly the problems dealing with plasmas had to deal with issues with the power supply. Obviously, everybody knows about the bad caps issue, replace the caps and that sort of thing. Regulators, the power supplies for me are no big deal. There's no magic behind power supplies that I can't generally figure out, especially even on these things. But I'm from the old school of TV repair, back in the days when we had CRTs. CRTs! We didn't have this newfangled plasma LCD stuff. We had tubes. I really liked it. And that's where my basis of a lot of my TV repair has come from. I really haven't gotten into the digital side of repairing main boards and that sort of thing, because in a lot of cases they're not repairable. They are pretty much a situation where you have boards that are all SMD, the processors and everything are on the board itself, and they're in a way that you can't remove and can't replace them. There's nothing you can really do, and they need programming. So I've kind of avoided that, dealing with that situation. Now, in most cases, when it comes to the plasmas, if you have a Y sustain or X sustain board issue, you have the black lines, and you have an issue where you can just replace that board, $15 to $20 on either side, and you have a perfectly good plasma TV. I've given some away to friends or just for parts, just because, I kind of like doing this kind of stuff on the side when I'm not busy with other work. So what we've got right here is another issue, though, that I can't quite identify. Now, I know that somebody out there is probably going, oh, I know exactly what this is. This is a logic board failure or some other issue. But generally, before I like getting into a TV to try and repair it, I like to know what's going on. How much money am I going to be into to get this thing up and running? And since I do not have a lot of my old 60 megahertz scope is not going to be fast enough to be able to look at the timings on the waveforms for digital devices like this, you end up with, a situation where I can't really diagnose this the way I should be able to. Again, certain issues are pretty easy to figure out. When it concerns plasmas or LCDs as to what's going on. If you have a bad display, or do you have a bad driver circuit, the driver for the X and Y, is it the Z sustain board? Those issues are easily picked out. But in this case, not so much. As you can see here, we've got a rather interesting thing going on with this. I'm going to go ahead and go to a maybe not quite so moving screen here by going to the guide. And as you can see here, we've got a situation where things are not lining up. If this was an old projection TV from back in my day, we had projection lenses that you had to physically move to get them to line up. Okay, that would be one thing, okay? But in this case, I am a little bit flummoxed as to exactly what's going on here. Now, the units on-screen display does the exact same thing. Okay, so I do not believe my issue is with the main board, because I believe that the logic board, now you might correct me if I'm wrong, is the thing that generates the on-screen display. So whatever is happening is either, I believe, happening at the logic board, which is from main board through LDFS to the logic board to your X and Y, and that's what generates your picture. There was nothing wrong with this TV apparently previously. The guy said it just turned it on one day and this is what he got. And he decided not to mess with it because he got this TV back in 2008 and he figured he was going to get a much lighter LCD TV, which I can't blame him. These fuckers weigh a frickin' ton. Jesus, I had about 6 hernias moving this damn thing by myself. But the fact of the matter is that there's no reason I can really ascertain because the screen is uncracked. Everything else about the TV is in perfect condition. And if this can be repaired by a simple board replacement or perhaps even a component replacement on one of the boards, that would be great. But let me go ahead and go back to the guide again. But you can obviously see what sort of issue we're having. Things are not, the RGB is not lining up. So, and we've got overlap, and it's like every other scan. Now, right now I am recording this at 60 hertz, so it's actually a bit smoother than what you're seeing right now. It's not as flashy like this. It's actually very much, I think I'm looking at 60 hertz refresh rate, and these are popping in at 30 hertz. So, okay. I know one of you TV guys out there who works on these for a living. I used to work on the picture tube ones for a living for a long time. Knows what this is. Is it the X sustain board? Is it the Y sustain board? Is it the buffer? Or is it the logic board? Again, on-screen display shows the exact same thing. All the on-screen stuff is offset. Every little piece is offset in the on-screen display. So I believe it's happening after the main board. Everything else on the main board works fine. Audio works fine. Channels work fine. All the switching between all the inputs work fine. It's just that this is what we got. Now, for those who have the same problem and have had it fixed, let me know. What did it take to get this particular issue fixed? Because I have gone through every video there is on YouTube looking for the same issue with a Samsung TV, and I have not seen an issue quite like this. So before we get broken open, we're going to, put feelers out there. Which way should I go in direction on this? And then I will post up exactly what was the fix. As soon as I find out, I will let everybody know. Good luck. Thank you for your time, and I hope to hear from somebody here. Have a nice day.